Welcome back, viewers. Thank you very much for staying tuned. Now, the last question just before the break we asked, and Mr. Mia was answering the question about the benefits of sending our children to a tuition center as opposed to one-to-one. What's the difference, you know, because a lot of people, they give their children a one-to-one tutor, but why should we prefer a tuition center? Must be some good reasons, and I know there is from my experience, but I'd like you to answer that again for us if you don't mind.
Sure. The main difference between one-to-one and working in groups is that while you are doing one-to-one tuition, the tutor is delivering an explanation of a topic. Then there have to be some sort of exercise from the students. While they're actually doing the exercise from the student, the actual tutor is doing nothing. Okay. The second difference is within a group they learn from each other. So they might be sometimes consciously learning and sometimes subconsciously learning from one another. And that is sort of the main difference between one-to-one tuition and a group tuition.
Okay. And I find that when there's a group of few people together, children tend to, actually most people as well, they tend to like to bounce off each other, don't they?
They definitely do. They definitely bounce each other.
Makes a big difference, doesn't it?
And they learn off each other. So there might be a topic that has been tutored to one particular child in that group, and they might turn around and say, well, I actually don't know this. Can you explain this to me? And so they learn through that way as well.
Thank you very much. And this would be a good question to ask Mr. Mushfiqur. Your role within the organisation is more to do with IT, isn't it?
IT and education, yeah. Implementing IT systems to help supplement education.
Yeah.
So, as we say, we've got the on-site tuition centre, kids studying at the table with a tutor. But what we've done above and beyond that is offer homework based on what they're studying. And because our company delivers education supplementally in the evening, marking is something that takes time. So what and it takes the time of the tutor, and we don't want to waste time within lesson time where tutors are marking and children are waiting. Because what is homework? Homework is a tutor's indication that the child has understood or not understood.
Of course, yeah.
And we're better off knowing that before the lesson than during the lesson. So we've converted our homework into an online homework system, which I developed myself. It's basically what the children are studying, and we've formulated our own curriculum where we've based it on topic by topic tuition. That's what we say, topic by topic tuition. And the online homework is similar to that, where whatever the child's studying in lesson, they've got exactly the same thing online, and they get to practice and practice, not just once, but they can repeat until they actually memorize it without even realizing it.
Yeah, to be honest, viewers, I've actually seen the system. It is quite fun. I find that children find it quite fun going through the system and through the questions, and obviously it's marking you as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's self-marked and it gives the model answer. The thing with us is that we don't just deliver education, we also look at our students as a team and as Alethians. They are part of the company, they are part of our educational system, and we want to motivate them. It's no good just giving them something and saying, here, take this, this is what you need to know. We want them to want to learn. And so our tutors are very energetic and very enthusiastic. Our homework system is one that not only motivates them, but gives them a feel-good factor, gives them confidence, because what they've studied in lesson, they see again and they think, oh, I can do this. And when they realize they can do it, they want to do it, and they want to do more and more and more. And when they have that point of failure, for want of a better term, shouldn't really say failure, but a point where they don't realize, they don't understand or don't know, they'll try again because they've just seen the model answer, and then they'll try again and they'll get it right third time, fourth time, and thereafter they'll always get it right. Yeah. So we've implemented an IT system that supplements the on-site education, but also allows them to feel confident and feel motivated and want to do it because they've just studied it. Sometimes with the younger kids, what we get is the kids coming into class, getting the things ready. Oh, what did you get in your homework last night? Oh, I got silver. Oh, I got gold. Next time round, the child who got silver wants to try and
He wants to get
outperform the other one.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
a little bit
it's
of
about
camaraderie.
making them understand that
Yeah.
it's rewarding to do better and better every time, isn't it?
Yeah, because in this day and age, sometimes we don't want to make the child feel like they haven't achieved. But in sport, for example, you win and you lose. You learn more when you lose, because you realise, oh, this person did this, and they made it. I've got to do the same thing.
Yeah, that's a very important lesson
Yeah.
of life as well,
Yes.
isn't it? You know, when you lose, you learn more from what you
Definitely.
how you lose.
So what Brother Bushwick said was about the visible IT that parents see.
Yeah.
The invisible, we have got invisible IT, which we use to track students.
Okay.
So we track students, we monitor the tuition using the invisible IT, which you or as parents cannot see. This is something that we maintain quality with. So the quality of progress, the quality of maintaining the tutors as well. So we monitor the tutors using our monitoring system, which then produces graphs and charts for us, so we can see how the tuition is running. And if there are gaps that a tutor is creating, we can fill that gap immediately, or fix issues that come about immediately. So this is the invisible side of the IT system that parents don't see as such.
So just to add to that, we're different to a school in that with your children at school, you may get the parents' evening once or possibly twice a year. But with supplemental education, with the IT systems we have in place, the students can give us feedback about the tutors can give us feedback about the students. We track what the students are doing, we track what the tutors are doing, and the parents get that feedback.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you the
Yeah.
question as well. How, you know, I know you got a system in place, but how are you better informing parents? You know, what sort of benefits are parents getting in terms of information about their child?
So as part of the
the
induction
progress.
process, what we say to parents is always check with the tutor at least a couple of weeks, just to see what they're progressing. But we also send out messages to parents of how their children is doing. So this is done by tutor notes that they make. So we can always send the tutor notes to the parents. We're also developing IT further than that, where they can see live information. So hopefully within a couple of months, we will have a system in place where parents can see live what the child has done that day in terms of topics, what the tutors have commented on that, how are their behavior, how much work they did. All of that will be live given to them through an app system which we're developing at the moment. So at the moment this is hidden from the parents, but it will become live pretty soon. Again, because we're looking at multiple sites and multiple situations, we're trying to work our way through all of that. And we're a small team, so it takes a bit of time to get through that. And inshallah, we will do that very, very soon.
Yeah, so just to add to that in terms of the business side of things, so we have the frontline staff who are the tutors, we have back office staff which are the admin staff that do the monitoring, the tracking, providing homework feedback, lesson feedback, and then we have the IT system that actually records what the child does every single lesson. Every single lesson, which is not the case in normal state schools because they're too big. What we're trying to do now is we have a number of centres, and those centres will grow inshallah. But what we're trying to do is centralise all the data we have on each child within each centre and release that to the parents so that they can see it, as Suhail said, they can see it live, lesson by lesson, week by week, month by month. And that information actually the parents can use to feed back to schools. So if you go to a parents' evening and the teacher says, oh, your child is very good at English, a parent should be able to say, well, what do you mean that they're good at English? Are you talking about their spelling? Are you talking about their grammar? Are you talking about their comprehension? Are you talking about their reading? What does level 5 mean, which is what they used to use in the old days? Now it's a three band system. What does this band mean? What does that band mean? What does this band mean? So that parents are more informed. That's what we're... the ethos of our Alethea Academy group is that we're trying to try to give information, knowledge and understanding to the parents as well as the students.
Which is really important, yeah.
Yeah, because ultimately the kids are at school much longer than they are in tuition, but we as specialists can give the parents that power, that authority, that right that they have over the secondary school about their child.
Not only that, that helps them when they go to the parents evening, they're better informed about the child.
Things like that we go over and beyond is we'll give a set of questions they can ask the teachers. All right? Having worked in secondary schools and having done many parents' evening where teachers are under pressure to be able to go through all the parents within 5 minutes. Some schools go to the extent of having egg timers so that they do not spend more than 5 minutes, because teachers can go off topic and there's loads of parents waiting to get feedback from their children. So we provide a list as well that they can use. So we go beyond normal tuition. We also provide information to better inform parents at parents' evening, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And one of the reasons we do that is to help the parents, but also the parents ask the questions, they get the information back from the school, and they feed back to us as well. And we can look and see if it marries up with what we're doing and what we're saying. And if there are gaps on either, we deliver to the
all these areas that you need to probably concentrate a little bit more for this child so that they can reach that level. Yeah, that's really important. And I think, you know, informing parents, I mean, just going to parents' evening is not enough. I know that for a fact. You know, I as a father, I make calls to the school, to the various subject teachers to find out about my child. But obviously, having going to tuition centre, sending your child to a tuition centre, you gain that extra information about the child, a lot more than what you would get from school, I'll be honest with you. And it makes a very big difference for a father or a mother about how she's going to deal with the child at home in terms of what's wrong, what that child actually needs, where they need to concentrate more. It's a massive difference.
We also prefer parents to be more informed.
More involved,
The more informed a parent is, the more the impact of that will be on that child, because they will be looking after that child better. They'll be able to see where they are. They'll be able to encourage the child better. So ultimately, the child and the parent both benefit as a result of being informed. So we do that quite actively.
Okay. I don't know if that's a myth or if that's true. I find that some people say to me, oh, if the school teacher knows your child is getting private tuition, they sort of concentrate less on that child and concentrate more on the one who's not getting the extra support. Is that true?
It's a difficult question, but what schools do tend to do is they have a set of targets. They have a set of pass mark targets, and they've got to fulfill and improve that. So it might be for one school 5, grade 5 at GCSE. It might be for another school grade 6 at GCSE. Might be for another one grade 4. Now they look at the cohort in that year group and they say, right, we need to hit this target. Which of these kids in this cohort will do it for us? And then they'll focus on those kids. If they know that 5 kids are already on 7 and we just need a 5, they'll do very little for them. If they have a group of kids who are on 3 and they just can't see how to push them further to 4 or 5, they'll support them in a different way. So there will be children on either side of the bell graph that they won't spend as much time with relative to the ones in the middle. So there is that aspect of
it's always good to even mention that extra.
But it's worth mentioning the A to C grade. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that whichever school a child goes to, there's a percentage of A to C grade, and that's the government way of describing a school where how they're performing. So usually it's 50-60% A to C. What parents don't see, that's up to 5 GCSEs. An average kid does about 10 GCSEs. So it's only 50% of the actual GCSEs that they do. So really speaking, the 58% or 60%, it's not actually 60%, it's 30%. You have to half it.
Oh, right.
Do you see what I mean? So a lot of parents are not aware of the percent was really good. It's on 70%, it's on 60%. But in reality, it isn't. It's actually less than that.
Right. Thank you very much for that. I'm actually going to ask you to stop there. We're going to go to a break quickly again. Viewers, again, just stay tuned. We've got loads more questions to ask our guest here. So stay tuned. See you after the break.